David Moore, grateful recovered alcoholic. I'm recovered mostly because I'm grateful, and I am grateful that I am recovered. I have recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body, and I work a program of Alcoholics Anonymous so that I can cure the irritability, the restlessness, and discontent on a daily basis, because my life gets unmanageable quickly with the alcoholic brain that still resides inside of me. I got really a lot of anxiety coming here, man. This is an intimidating group. I appreciate all of you for having me come, Louis for asking me to speak, the gentleman who took birthday cakes today. I really wanted to be like Danny when I grow up, and here we are. I was on the phone with my sponsor, checking in on the way here, talking about a few things, and I was like, I gotta go speak over here, and then I gotta go to Laguna on Friday. He's like, whoa, you don't gotta do nothing. You get to do these things today, and I get an opportunity to come speak in front of a room full of you guys here, and ever so grateful I am. And as I'm on that topic, I'd like to thank my higher power, the God of my understanding, for the opportunity and the ability to be here today. For so many people wanted it, needed it, and deserved it more than I do, but I have it, and ever so grateful I am for it. I wasn't always as grateful, and I didn't appreciate a higher power. As a matter of fact, there was a time not so long ago that I thought God sentenced me to live my hell right here, right now. On December 17th, 2014, I was shot 3 times in the stomach, once in the throat, once through the mouth, and it came on my eye. This eye is a gift of recovery. I didn't show up with it. And if you'd ask me, if you'd ask anybody, you'd just say, stop, bro. Isn't that a fucking eye-opener? Shouldn't you just stop right now and see where your life is going and see what you have going on and just try to change your ways? But it doesn't. I don't have that ability to stop, right? Matter of fact, is it takes these silver bracelets to stop me in my tracks. And all that does is put me to a place where I got to live by rules, sets of principles and practices that get me healthy, get me fit, get me ready to go back out and continue doing my thing. It doesn't help change my way of thinking. It just reinforces my way of living, the way I've always lived. I grew up in a portion of LA called Mid-City, bouncing back and forth all the way from Lenox, and I'm a white guy from the neighborhood, right? I had to fight a lot growing up. I had to prove myself a lot. So when I say I'm different, I really mean I'm different. And I had to prove my difference with the common denominator of violence growing up in the area I did. And prison's a part of my story. I'd like to say that December 17th was the first time I was shot. It wasn't. First time I was 13. The second time I was 17. And then all the way till I'm 33 years old. 33, you're supposed to be doing something good with your life, but here I was back in a place where I had been before. I've had moments of goodness in my life where I do good. I have a unique ability to work hard, get the girl, the car, the job, the pad, all these outward things, which social acceptability does not equal recovery. And if you don't have a program, you will surely lose everything you have, because I've done it time and time again. Except this time, the big book talks about fair weathered friends, and I had them, right? I was driving a limo. I got to do what I want, when I want, how I want, and that's what reinforced that addiction. And I'm addicted to alcohol, but I have a unique response to it. Is every time I put alcohol in, I blow smoke out, and it's like a chain reaction. As soon as that happens, I don't sleep, I don't go home, I forget about my children. I've lived my kid's life in episodes. I got to see my son for a few months before I left, and then I got to see them again 4.5 years later, and then I get to see them again years after that. And then I re-enter their lives, and I do good briefly, but I cannot do good for any long period of time. Longevity is something that I don't know how to apply. Sustainability is something I don't know how to access, and I thank AA for that. Me and God always had a unique understanding. I won't go into your house saying I'm sorry for something I know I'm going to go back out and do again. So when I'm ready to stop doing what I'm doing, I'll come and I'll apologize and we'll be good thereon. And that was just the justification that I used to continue to live the way I wanted to. And I can go along all day long about the mess. My life is full of messes, hurts, pains, and letdowns. My mom died in 2011. The only thing I was grateful for is She died, and her son was sober at the time. When I got shot, the only thing I was grateful for was that she wasn't alive to see what her son was going through. And so if that makes any sense. It's not like that today, you know. It took these handcuffs for me to go back in, to get healthy and to get fit. Except this time was different. I knew that everything I had out there was drug and alcohol infested in various shapes, ways, or forms and colors and textures. And I knew that if I didn't do something, that I would surely end up in institutions where I found myself, death where I almost been. Matter of fact, it was like I put myself in so many situations where I was just waiting to die. I didn't have the barriers to do it myself, you know. Some sort of like distorted warrior poetry is like, no, you can't take your own life. Look what you've survived. Bill Wilson talks about that in his book. He says, I, who thought so highly of myself, of my ability to surmount obstacles, was cornered at last. You know, some of that book struck home in chords for me. But when I first got here and got my sponsor, let me rewind a bit, collect myself. I rode to 7 treatment facilities while I was in prison. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. When I get out, I'm fixing everything. A couple of those treatment facilities says, we'll pick you up, we'll have a bed ready. One of them just said, like, we're a Medi-Cal-based organization, blah, 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 blah. And through the process of making my way through the remainder of my time, I ran into somebody who's seen this letter, and he's like, what do you know about the house on the hill? Like, I know I wrote to them. And he told me stories about how he used to go there and how he's connected there and what to do and say and how to act, man. He's like, you know, the girls ain't for you. This program requires a book. You read the book, you do what they tell you to do, you'll get a better life. And the only intention I had was to come out and get the girl to drop the pad, all these outward things, but to do it in a different city, right? That was the key to me, right? Do it in Pasadena, right? More than one bus ride away from where I had grown up was my key to longevity, right? I just needed to be more than one bus ride away because that'll do it for me. And I like to say that it was like a fairy tale ending. As soon as I got out, I went right there, and then here I am today. No. My highest resolve failed me. My plan of action, it stopped. It took me a total of 5 hours to get out, get a drink in, blow smoke out, be on the same couch that I was a few years before. And 5 days later, I'm still sitting in the same clothes, and impending doom set in because I realized if I didn't make a change now, I wouldn't be able to change at all because it would take these cuffs again. You're going to be absconding and you're going to be on your way back in. So then my mind state, well, gig is up. You might as well just go all in. Wherever that ends, I don't know, because for me it ends coming back in with an eye out, no family left, broken, beaten, and ungrateful, right? Ungrateful, burdened. That's the key word for me, is I was burdened with the life that I had before. Burdened. So I got up off that couch and I came to that treatment center, and I got there on October 30th of 2018. My first day, I woke up with no mind-altering substances, no alcohol in my body. It was Halloween day. My sobriety date is October 31st of 2018. And I have one sobriety date, and here I sit in front of you today, grateful with these three plus years. And it's gone by so quick because I've just done what was told of me. I got a sponsor. And it's almost like, you know, they got God shots in these programs, right? When I asked my sponsor, you know, to sponsor me, because he had his hand up at a big book meeting, and he's like, when's your sobriety day? I was like, Halloween. He's like, yeah, mine's December 17th of 2014. I'm like, ha! I'm like, dude, like the day you got sober is the day I almost lost my life, and now here we are meeting in this spot here today, and it's like, you know, it has to be, you're the guy, man. And he stayed my sponsor until he moved on in life and went to Arizona, and I got a new one because I don't want to see what part of this program I can fuck with. Excuse me, can I cuss here yet, right? Yeah. That I can fuck with, that's going to take David Moore the fuck out, all right? I am not willing to see what part of this program that I can compromise to see what's going to put me back into that place of hopeless and despair. And when he told me to read this book, I really was only following direction with the intent just to better my life through the process, get a job, to grow, and all these outward things, right? No intention of getting an eye in the process. But when he told me to read that book, and gave me some education about what I'm dealing with, the doctor's opinion and understanding of what that all is, and allergies and stuff. And I've adapted my own way to explain all that. But there was one paragraph that stood out to me when I was looking for similarities in there. It says, no words can describe that bitterness, that bitter morass of self, no words can describe of the loneliness and despair I found in that bitter morass of self-pity. Alcohol stretched in every direction. Alcohol was my master. I had met my match. I'm a little nervous, sorry. I don't like misquoting the book, but you guys get the picture. How dark is it before the dawn? And I'm glad it was dark enough for me to be able to see the light. And when that part popped, I was all in. I came to believe in a power greater than myself. That power who I didn't really believe had any love for me. Right? There was a letter that I got when I was in prison from this girl I used to drink with, and she said, "David, you lost your kids, and that didn't seem to matter to you. You know, God took your mom from you, and you didn't seem to care. He snatched your eye out, and you don't seem to see that he's been fighting for your attention this whole time." What the fuck is she talking about, man? And I had just not removed the blocks from me so that I can feel a higher power touch me. And that's what step 2 was for me, because insanity, I have lived insane so long with distorted and misguided belief system that when I finally got to AA, you gentlemen here showed me soundness of mind through this process, through this program, through those spiritual principles, which I adore. Because without honesty, acceptance, surrender, I would have never got past submission, because I had always been in submission to circumstances. Once I got in a little headlock, I'll tap out. Once I got fit again, I'll go back in the ring, because, you know, I always consider myself a survivor, like a little warrior poet of sorts. But until I gained access to humility through putting my pain, my past, my pride, my fears, my resentments, the people I harmed on that paper, I started feeling lighter. And when that burden started coming off of me, and I shared my secrets with my sponsor, I felt something change, but not this God-shot moment that everybody talks about. It wasn't this burning bush. But what did happen is it gave me a sense of direction and helped me with the energy to get it done. And it was around 6 or 7 for me, because I realized through the process of identifying my defects of character that they weren't all defects, that most of them were assets, and the ability to use discernment to find out when those assets need to be present and when they become shortcomings. Because part of me that carried me through those hurts and hardships, I cherish them dearly. But if they showed up today, they would harm me deeply. And I'm not willing to see that or to do that. So as I gained willingness in step 8 and I kept moving forward, I now work at that treatment center that I wrote to. The only thing I really told them is that I don't want to leave, and they told me you don't have to. And that's the same thing that you gentlemen here told me in AA. They're like, you don't have to leave, and you fit right in. And it took me a long time for me to feel comfortable in here. But I believe that's the key to sobriety for me, is my ability to walk through uncomfortable situations, because it gets really uncomfortable. And you think, I'd be like, man, I have been through everything that you could throw at me, man. You shoot me, take my mom, my kids, you know, my kids are believing in God, a different God that I don't believe in, have resentment towards, like everything. You can't even hit me with nothing uncomfortable. Here's the twilight zone of COVID that comes. And I got to watch myself on Zoom so that I can see what my disease did to me for the first time, because I had hid behind the memory of what I used to look like before my disease got the best of me, before the streets took my eye from me. And I walked through that. And as I continue to walk through uncomfortable situations, I find the key to sustainability and longevity is because as long as I hold tightly to this program that you gentlemen help me learn and keep me accountable to, and offer me time so that I can come share my experience, strength, and hope in hopes that I might reach one in here. But I know the gift of recovery surely is hidden in my ability to say yes, regardless of what it is I have going on, where I want to be, what I don't want to do, is I say yes, because that's like saying yes to my recovery. My recovery consists of this table with the 4 legs, founded and firm with the unity, the recovery, the service, the fellowship, my sponsor and God encompassing all. And I won't compromise any of it, because if I do, I won't have the sturdiness and foundation to weather the storms that come, and they come. Today I have my kids in my life. Just the other day, there's a gentleman in this room who got to see a 15-year-old amends take place. And I had the ability to do that, sit there gracefully and ask what I can do different and how I can make things right. And my kids are in my life, and so is my granddaughter. I've gotten married since I got to AA, and I'm gonna have a baby in AA. I got my high school diploma or GED in AA. I go to college in AA. I go to meetings in AA. There's not one thing that we can't access. And when we say sicker than most, I fit the bill. And when they talk about that we are people from different walks of life who would normally not mix, I fit right there too. But I know that I have my seat and I earned it with my ability to suit up and show up. And for the gentleman that I'm allowed to give my life to, so that I can give of me, so that I can get it right back, is the greatest gift that I've ever been bestowed. I appreciate you guys for offering me and asking me to come out here so that I can maintain my sobriety by sharing with you. Thank you.